If you're thinking about booking a Disney Cruise Line Concierge sailing, then this is the ultimate guide for you. I'll be sharing everything you need to know before boarding, what happens when you're on the ship, and all of those amazing concierge perks that you have in store. This guide is based off our most recent Disney Cruise Line sailing on board the Disney Fantasy, where we travelled Westbound Transatlantic Concierge for 13 nights. We vlog our trips day to day, so if you'd like to see what we got up to every day of that trip, then do check out that playlist under Disney Westbound Transatlantic. But let's jump into the Concierge Ultimate Guide. The Concierge Magic starts 130 days prior to your sailing day, where you're invited to email shoreside with your concierge requests. For us, this took the form of a table which outlined the specific itinerary, our port stops. We had the option of being able to select our dining rotation, and this meant that we could actually pick the rotation that had more stops at some of our favourite restaurants. We also had early visibility of the specific nights, such as Pirate Night and Formal Night, and this really helped with the packing because we knew exactly what we were packing for and when. A spa services list with prices was also included, which is super helpful if you're looking to utilise any of those options on board. What we found the most beneficial though was the list of the available port adventures for all of our port stops. This was actually different from what we could see on the website when we were filtering by port stop, and that's actually really useful to see exactly what is going to be confirmed. When dealing with shoreside, they were able to send us available times. They also sent us available pricing, and we were able to get those activities and excursions booked in. And particularly if you know that you've got a stop at Castaway Cay or Lookout Cay, then those cabanas, those are the things that having the concierge booking service available at 130 days is going to be of massive value, because those cabanas sell out so quickly, so having the 130-day booking available is going to be a huge perk for you. In addition to the port adventure excursions, the email from shoreside also outlined the onboard bookable fun, such as the premium dining, so that's Remy and Paolo, the ability to book Royal Gathering with the list of available time slots and dates, and any other onboard fun such as the mixology classes, beverage tastings, etc. Sailing Concierge also means that you'll automatically be allocated boarding group 1, which means that you'll be the first to board the ship. Again, another massive perk, and it's so nice to be welcomed by Captain Mickey himself. You will be welcomed to an exclusive concierge lunch that is held in a separate dining location. So for us, this was held at Royal Court. The menu's not too dissimilar to the regular all-aboard menu that's held at the usual sit-down restaurant location. However, we did spot a couple of changes. This dessert is definitely the dessert from Paolo. It's the warm chocolate fondant, and it's one of my favourites. And a selection of alcohol was included, including champagne and cocktail of the day. For our stateroom, we opted for an ocean view veranda rather than a suite. It was one of the newly refurbished concierge rooms available, and I had seen some pictures on the lead up to the trip, and everything looked really dark wood, and I was a little bit concerned as to how I would like it, but actually I found it absolutely beautiful. Personally, we find all of the Disney Cruise Line staterooms absolutely gorgeous, but this just had some really nice extra added details, such as the gold accents on the bedding and the beautiful gold Disney Cruise Line runner, a welcome on board fruit basket alongside our Castaway Club gifts. Some useful information was left in our stateroom outlining the concierge lounge opening hours, what was included in the lounge, what was included for the theatre, and more information. We also found that our concierge stateroom had better supplied glasses, so instead of just having the usual water tumblers, there were also wine glasses and larger tumblers. There was also a lot more floor space, and as a result, a lot more storage, which was really helpful when we were on a 30-night cruise. The fridge in your stateroom is also filled with a selection of soft drinks. It used to be the case that you could request these, and I believe that now it is just pre-filled with a random selection. We had water, we had Diet Coke, we had full fat Coke, and we had Fanta and apple juice. You get the usual split bathroom, which is such a great feature, but there were some extra things in there. So we had weighing scales, which we definitely didn't need, and the complimentary toiletries were all Elemis products, which were absolutely gorgeous. We sailed whilst they were still offering these spongelles, which smell amazing, by the way. I don't think they do these anymore, but I think there is an equivalent loofah. Robes and slippers were available in the wardrobe. We had 2 adult robes and 1 child's robe. Unfortunately, the slippers are not branded with Disney Cruise Line, which I was half hoping that they would be. I thought they would be a great thing to take home with us. A shoe shining service was also available in the second wardrobe. Can't say we made much use of this, seeing as we pretty much exclusively live in Crocs when we're on board. A service that I absolutely loved was the Dream Pillow menu, and this, to be honest, felt super bougie. You could pick exactly which pillow you would like, and there was loads of different options, including whether you're a snorer, a back sleeper, a side sleeper, and silk pillowcases. My son's favourite thing about the stateroom, though, was the fact that the pull-down bed, which is usually a single bed, was actually a double bed, which was amazing. You could also request a duvet for this rather than just the sheet and the blanket over the top. There are also 2 stateroom hosts assigned to you, which meant we were very well looked after for the duration of our trip. And I can't forget the little benefit of the luggage actually being left inside the stateroom instead of in the corridor. This was an unexpected benefit, but one that felt super fancy. Now, onto the Concierge Lounge, which had to be one of the best perks for us. We made such good use of the lounge, so let me tell you about everything that's included. The lounge is an exclusive space for concierge guests only, and it's open until 10 o'clock every single night. Bottled soft drinks and still and sparkling water are available all day long, as well as use of the fancy coffee machines containing a huge selection of tea, coffee, chocolate, and syrups. The lounge is beautifully themed with a ton of different seating areas, including tables, high-top tables, and more comfy lounge seating. Use of these seating areas was available throughout opening hours, and we were also able to bring up food from the deck and able to eat it and enjoy it in the quiet of the lounge. An unexpected perk was being able to make use of the game drawer, which I didn't know existed. There was a ton of card games in here and board games, and we spent so many hours, so many evenings just in the quiet of the lounge, in the comfort of the lounge, enjoying the food, the drinks, and the games. This was just core family memories here, being able to do this. Another exclusive space for concierge guests was the sun deck, and this was the most incredible space. There were an absolute ton of sun lounges up here, so guaranteed seating for everyone, including some really comfy sofas and cuddle chairs. Our favourite thing up here though was the hot tub, so this again is exclusive to concierge guests and was a real lifesaver, especially when for some of our trip the actual hot tub in the main areas wasn't working. This was just such a gorgeous space in the sun, enjoying that weather. Next to the hot tub there were also showers available. These were open showers, not private, but there were also private bathrooms. Drinks fridges were also available on the Sun Deck Lounge that contained those soft drinks that I referenced earlier, and there was also complimentary sun cream available and stacks of towels, so no need to bring your own. Honestly, there was nothing nicer than sitting here, enjoying the sun and watching the ocean go by. It was just one of my favourite spots on board. We happily spent many hours here. Light bites and snacks were available in the Concierge Lounge at various times during the day. Starting off with breakfast, there was a wide variety of food to try, including cereals, fresh fruits, meats, cheeses, pastries, and sweet treats. This was a perfect alternative if you were trying to avoid the scrum in cabanas. An honorary mention here for the cinnamon bun Danish. This was a firm family favourite. The lunch options were definitely going for afternoon tea vibes because there was a range of finger sandwiches, there was whole fruits, there was scones with cream and jam, and then lots of nice little pastries and sweet treats. I particularly enjoyed the chocolate covered marshmallows. And I have to say, as a person from the UK, the scones with cream and jam wasn't exactly as you would have in the UK. It was more like a sponge cake, but it was delicious nonetheless. Now, we all know that rotational dining is one of the best things on board Disney Cruise Line. So the fact that they offer a dinner menu at the Concierge Lounge, I don't know, for me, it was just not anything that we ever utilised because we were always so full from that rotational dining. But there are options and they did look good. A perk of the lounge that we utilised on a daily basis, aside from when we were crossing the Bay of Biscay, was the unlimited open bar between 5 and 10 p.m. every night. I've included the bar menu here for reference, but it was not limited to the bar menu. You could really have your pick of everything that was on offer. It was a really premium offering, so anything from champagne to cocktails, beers, wines, spirit, you name it, they had it. We were on the main dining rotation, so our dinner was approximately 5:45 every evening. So what we would do is head to the lounge for about 5 p.m, have a drink, and then grab another to take down to the rotational dining restaurant, and that's completely acceptable. In fact, we were offered 2 drinks at a time so we could take them with us and not have to pop back up, and this was also the same for the shows, which we'll come on to later. One of my favourite nights on board this trip was when we challenged the concierge team, who were amazing by the way, to host our own mixology night. This was of course unofficial and we didn't actually get to shake our own cocktails, but we did get to try a nice variety including mojito, fun on Castaway Cay, mudslide, daiquiri and more. You'll have to go and watch that specific vlog to find out the one we really did not enjoy. But finally, on to my favourite perk of the Concierge Lounge, and this was being invited to the Say Cheese events. These events are exclusive and you are invited to meet a special friend. They didn't run for a very long time, it was about 15 minutes per friend, but it was enough to go round the whole lounge, and of course I'm sure they would have stayed longer if they needed to get round everyone. How this worked was you stayed sitting in your seat and the characters came to you, and I really enjoyed this. So meeting all the characters, all the friends with no queue, that is an amazing perk because you just get so much more time on the ship this way. We met a new friend every few days, but no Captain Mickey. There wasn't an exclusive meet with Captain Mickey. However, we were very pleased that we could meet Stitch because Stitch does gather a massive queue at times. Another very rare and exclusive friend that we got to meet was Don Ducky Williams. He was sailing with us on the Transatlantic cruise. He was also hosting a few events talking about his career and his life with Disney. Such an amazing man. But for us concierge guests, we got a very lucky opportunity to meet him one-to-one and for him to also sign an exclusive lithograph. This again, such a massive highlight, and we can't wait to put this piece of beautiful artwork on our wall at home. Now on to the Broadway style theatre shows. Always a huge perk when sailing on a Disney cruise, but made even better with the perks of concierge. Ahead of your theatre start time, you're advised to meet in the lounge, and that's encouraged about 30 to 45 minutes before the show actually starts. At the lounge, you are then greeted by one of the concierge hosts and you are taken down to the theatre. And you are the first group to enter the theatre, which means you get your choice of seats. We chose the boxes on the second floor because we loved the view. You were also given a free popcorn. Now this was just salted flavoured popcorn, not sweet, so it's not my favourite, but free popcorn is free popcorn. You could take your drinks from the concierge lounge and you could really enjoy the show in style. The final set of perks that we enjoyed thanks to our concierge lounge status was the best dining tables in the restaurants. These tables will be closer to the entertainment, closer to the screens, closer to special friends that might be meeting. And in our experience, we've never actually had a bad table, but it was nice to have a really good table. And that wraps us up for our ultimate guide to cruising concierge with Disney Cruise Line. Of course, sailing concierge comes with the price to match, but after what you've seen, do you think it's worth it? That was one of the most asked questions we had on this trip, and you'll have to stay tuned for a future video where I will share exactly what we paid and whether or not we thought the experience was worth it. If you're not already subscribed, then make sure you hit that button because we'll be back with future ultimate guides and day-to-day vlogs of our trips. And you'll have to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. See you for the next one. Bye!